panel discussion that is coming up next. Now, disruptive business models deployed by Uber, Airbnb, and Amazon have demonstrated that by maximizing the network effect, one can create additional value for all participants, expanding their offerings and services, and producing an opportunity for that disrupting flywheel effect that spurs growth in an exponential way. Is your business model one that enables end-to-end digital transactions between all members of the ecosystem? Can it satisfy the need that consumers and producers have in order to cooperate and integrate into value creation process? Please welcome our speakers for this panel discussion on new age technologies that can disrupt business models. Please welcome on stage our moderator for this discussion, Mr. Rahul Goswami, Associate General Manager, Marketer, Poet, Customer Evangelist at CLTech. Big round of applause for our moderator, Mr. Rahul Goswami. Joining him on stage are our panelists for this discussion. Please welcome Mr. Tushar Parekh, Managing Director, Silicon NetSecure Private Limited. Please also welcome Mr. Prashant Jain, Founder and CEO, JNR Management Resources Private Limited. Round of applause for our speakers making their way to the stage. Please welcome Nazmeen Ansari, CEO, Matrix 3D Infocom Private Limited. Govind Ramamurthy, CEO and MD, Microworld. Rex Anthony Peter, Global Head Pre-Sales, Zoho Corp. And Vikram BC, Technical Channel Business Manager, Sentinel One. A round of applause for all our speakers on stage. I'll hand it over to Mr. Goswami to take this discussion forward.
Hello. Thank you so much, Anisha, for such a warm welcome to the panel, and of course the event has picked up the speed. I hope my voice is audible to all of you, and it's crystal clear. With such a great energy that is set in the whole conference room, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Rahul Goswami, part of HCL Technologies. I would say HCL Tech, heading the business marketing and GTM advisory for US geography based out of Noida. With me, I have such a high eminent industry leaders forming this panel. First of all, I would like to kind of introduce Tushar Parekh from NetSecure Private Limited. He is the Managing Director and CEO of Silicon NetSecure. I have next Prashant Jain from JMR Management Services, and he is also founder and CEO. Then we have Nazmeen Ansari, who is also the CEO of organization called Matrix 3D Infocom. Then I would like to welcome Govind Ramamurthy, who is the CEO and MD of Microworld. I have next eminent personality called Rex Anthony Peter, and he is the global head of pre-sales in Zoho Corporation. And last but not the least, we have Vikram, who is heading the global alliances and system engineering in Sentinel One. I would request the audience to give a round of applause for all the panelists, and we are very, very happy to have this discussion going, which is around how the technology transformations are happening in the industry overall, and what important role the channel partners play in making sure that the ecosystem is evolving continuously together with both channels and the large IT enterprises. So welcome all of you once again. My first question would go to Tushar. I would like to first ask to you that, and as you come from NetSecure Private Limited, which is a large channel partner itself, what are the key emerging trends and transformational themes you are seeing in the software and IT services, which is paramount for delivering superior customer experiences?
So, okay. In current scenario, hello friends, I'm Tushar Parekh, Managing Director, Silicon NetSecure Private Limited. Okay, just to answer your question, in the current scenario, the way we are seeing technology evolve and the speed at which it is evolving, we are having cloud adoption and SaaS we are having AI ML, we are having cyber security and data protection, specifically now with the DPDP law coming into place. There's a lot of movement around data protection in itself. And we have another company which is here who specifically is into data protection. So now, plus we are also looking at IoT, which has completely changed the sphere of getting reports on predictive analysis as well as predictive maintenance of devices and manufacturing units. And we're also having AR, VR. So the evolving landscape of technology is rapidly moving ahead. Us as partners, we need to keep abreast with the technological changes and keep upgrading ourselves to deliver the best of technologies to our customers. And for us to do that, I think, to each and every person who's here, relevant to his specifics, getting trained on those technologies and then moving ahead would be really good, in terms of giving the right solution across to your customers. I hope that clarifies.
No, I think I fully agree with you, Tushar, that since the world is continuously evolving and it's not only about Indian ecosystem but also the Western world, which actually is looking at India. So from the transformational standpoint, the way Indian ecosystem has taken the baton, I think a lot of investments, a lot of IPs are being driven into new innovations, and these definitely will happen when all the IT partners and channel partners come together to give fuel to that innovation, which is in the emerging trends and transformations. I would hear similar views from Govind. So Govind, so you have been in the industry for last 20-25 years. How have you seen this entire wave of when the technology was just legacy technology, and now we are living in a digital world? So how have you seen this change, and now what is your foresight on how the future looks like from the technology transformation standpoint?
Okay, I believe we have, hi, this is Govind Ramurthy from eScan. We are basically a cybersecurity solutions organization operating out of India and having customers across the globe. Coming back to your question, I would say that in the past 20 years, obviously, we have seen the transformation from LANs and WANs to cloud, for example. We have seen storage technologies moving in a direction which has really surprised everyone. We have seen mobile technologies also. But rather than the past 20 years which we have seen, I think all of you have been part of the journey, and many of you have been part of the journey for almost like more than 2 decades out here. I would like to say something about what's happening from this point onwards and what we are working on, what we see customers working on, not only nationally but globally. And the one most important thing that is actually changing the technology landscape across all the businesses, be it partners or be it OEMs or solution providers or service providers, I would say is artificial intelligence. AI, I believe all of you probably have used ChatGPT and for conversational purposes and probably have experimented with these things. But ChatGPT as an application is only for chat, but GPT is the underlying model. Mm-hmm. And today the way I see it is workflow automation using GPT is what is gaining traction across the globe. And when I say workflow automation using GPT, if I explain to you, it primarily means that probably your entire communication with customers, right from the prospecting stage to the closing stage, can actually be automated using a properly trained GPT models, which can be used not only for sales and revenue generation purposes, but it can be used for services also. And I believe this transformation from a human-oriented workforce or workflow to AI-based workflow is going to make a massive change as far as technology is concerned, and I believe it will change the models for everyone. And if we are not proactive enough to adopt to these in the next 1 or 2 years, we will see large-scale disruption not only with as far as partners and service providers are concerned, but we will also see a large-scale disruption when it comes to OEMs. So I believe artificial intelligence models, which are now coming up, getting groomed, a lot of open source models are also coming up. These are the things which will change the face of the industry in the coming months and years. And I think 2 years max. In next 2 years, we will see everything getting automated. Most of the workflow inside the organization is going to get automated. I'll probably, as the discussion continues, I will probably give you some real life examples of what's happening. But to cut my discussion or my statement short, yes, AI is one thing which I'm heavily betting on, and I think majority of the people here should bet on.
Yeah, thank you, Gopit. And the words that I key themes that I pick up from both of your discussions, both of your point of views is your cloud, your cybersecurity, your Gen AI and automation. So I would harp on these keywords, and I would like to go to Prashant. So Prashant, all these big themes that we are hearing, that chat GPT, automation is going to change the way the world look at workforce or the work processes. So we would like to hear from you, learn from you, that how do you think these trends and themes necessitate the requirement for new technology stacks adoption in the industry ecosystem?
See, hi, this is Prashant. So my take is that all these changes, all these transformations, whether we are talking about AI, whether talking about ML, we are talking about better connectivity, 5G, 6G, the networks are going to be faster, the applications, the expectation from the application is going to be very fast. And automation, orchestration are the words which will rule the industry in the coming years. Unless and until the community, when I say community, it includes the OEMs, the customers and the partners, are agile enough to adopt these transformation technologies and build their businesses, their services, their innovations around that, it will not help. We have to be agile enough to be able to understand, adopt, adapt, and then build our businesses, build our applications around these areas so that we can build a sustainable and profitable business. So this is my take.
And for example, companies who are in their nascent stage of genesis, nascent stage of their formation, so do you think it would be mandatory, or it would be kind of a burden on them if they don't adopt to those new ways of technologies, and they will feel left behind in the race of technology?
Absolutely, I completely agree with you. They will miss the bus unless and until, I mean, I'm a person who's been in my working area for about 3.5 decades. My background has been all through finance. Whatever technology business I've been doing, it's on the job learning. Again, keep on learning, keep on reskilling yourselves, your teams, you yourself. Unless and until that reskilling happens, you will not be abreast of the ongoing situations. You will really miss the bus, as we were discussing. So you will be left behind. And all the more that the regulators are getting stronger and stronger, the laws are getting stronger and stronger. Again, when you build your businesses around these technologies, these new things, then you have to take care of the compliance, the regulators, the new laws, the stringent ones also, like DPDP, though it will take some time to refine, but we've made a start at least. So definitely they're going to miss the bus. So the nascent ones are the ones who will actually be the drivers towards these new areas, new technologies, niche technologies. These are the important aspects.
Thank you so much, Prashant. I would like to go to Rex with the same kind of point of view. Rex, you come with a strong background in solutioning and tech advisory when you're heading the global pre-sales in Zoho Corp. So how you have seen these evolutions, these key trends necessitating the adoption of new technologies in the larger enterprises and organizations, and why these requirements make the enterprises and organizations invest more from the budget standpoint?
Yes. See, the new technologies is like one of the major technologies which we have seen recently is the cloud adoption, right? So I'm seeing, most of the companies moving to the cloud, and whoever have not done it, they have actually lost the bus. The players who have been in, for example, in BFSI or in retail, they used to be number one, say, let's say like a decade before or 5 years before. But now they are not even in top 10. The reason is they have not taken the cloud wave. Okay, and see, so we have seen a lot of cloud adoptions coming in each of these areas: BFSI, healthcare, and a lot more. From a partner standpoint or from our standpoint, from a product perspective, so what we are trying to solve is we are trying to solve the challenges what they are facing in cloud in terms of, for example, from monitoring perspective. So we are trying to give them a single pane of glass for complete monitoring needs, what's happening on the cloud in terms of, AWS or Azure or GCP, where the breakdown is from an application standpoint. So I have seen a lot of these channels, partners, and the tech folks. The enablement of these technologies from a product perspective are very important to provide a right solution to the enterprise organizations. And moreover, it's down is not the issue. Okay, slow is the new down, actually. So this is a term which I'm seeing across the globe, where when things are slow, you lost the business, you lost the bus, right? So keeping it responsive, your application or your business, it's very important from an end user perspective. So, these are some disruptions which I've seen, a complete shift for a lot of players, where they lost the bus, and if they have to be up in the game on the cloud. Yeah.
Thank you, Rex. So now, as we have been hearing that running with the wind, okay, and pacing ourselves with the change we are seeing in the industry ecosystem, both from technology as well as from business standpoint, is necessary. I would like to ask Vikram. Vikram, you have been in the business of alliances and your partnership management and your. So how do you think that the change or the pace with which this change is happening from the technology adoption standpoint, or from a approach where enterprises, both SMB as well as big, they have to implement new technologies. So does this bring any change in the engagement models between a OEM or the service provider? If yes, how? Yeah.
So regarding to this particular challenge, right? So most of the clients are look forward to adopt into the new technologies, right? Even if you today say the most of the technologies are being driven by ML or other artificial intelligence, and the future would be a quantum computing, right? So these things are very dynamic in nature, and it is very hard to predict how the things going to happen. And if you look into the most of the clients, the early adoption happens on the enterprise clients like a IT sector, but later on it comes to the BSFI and other, right? So those people try to make a replication of this particular modules which has been driven by the IT sector against their environment, which does not sustain for the longer period. Because as the infrastructure changes, even the adoption gonna changes. Even the technology is the same and a similar set of a thing, but when it comes to the adoption level, so it is very difficult for anybody to understand. And second point I want to highlight over here is that, so as the technology has been growing very rapidly, like if you see it has been like just like 3 to 4 years where we were using just a 2G mobile, and today we are with a 5G mobile, right? So you can see the pace where the things are going on. And if you see in today's market, there is a lack of cybersecurity skill set. So that is where our channel partners comes into the picture with their multi-level of a skill set, not only from product line, but they have a capability of understanding and the correlating between the different technology. And these guys can help us in correlating and building a different strategical sort of infrastructure and how easily any client can adopt, right? So for an example, from the ground level of the technology, as we are from the background of an OEM, so we can provide a certain level of understanding about what we deliver as a technology and how easily any organization can adopt. But as the infrastructure changes from each and every angle and the point of view, so that is where our partners comes into the picture to help us to fine tune this particular strategy which has been built. And they actually help us so the client can understand the portfolio better and how easily they can adopt. See, adopting a technology is not a challenging, but sustaining the technology and correlating that with their business matters a lot. So if the adoption does not sustain for a longer period, they're going to lose. Because a couple of organizations, they jumped directly into the cloud infrastructure when the cloud started booming in. But later on, they understood the cloud is much more expensive compared to their on-premise. For an example, if you take a manufacturing sector, they do not do any sort of a development or anything. So their dependency on the cloud infrastructure doesn't help them to create the profitability. So in this scenario, they're moving back to the on-premises. So over in these particular scenarios, actually our channel partners and the others will help us to provide a better clarity and understanding to the client, so that it should not be like only the client or the OEM engagement, but it should be a partner engagement also, because the partners are the front line commanders with respect to the client engagement, to understand, to help them to build a strategy and adopt to the new technologies.
Yeah. So it is important, as you just said, that not only look at the small picture, but look at the bigger picture. Look at the engagement between two entities as relationship rather than just a business kind of relationship. I would like to ask Govind, see, lot of times, I mean not lot of time, but every time the contracts are signed in advance, okay, once the scope has been finalized, once the whether the scope is about technology or whether the scope is about business or the deliveries, scope is freezed before the contracts are signed legally. Now when at certain point of time in the journey of the engagement, we see a change request, or we see a change in the way a business should run. So how this may actually impact the contracts when change is inevitable to be executed?
Good question. I would say, being a medium-sized organization, we have to be we have one of the guests who spoke about agility, and we need to be agile. And when we sign a multi-year contract with customers, be it in India or be it abroad, many a times because of technology changes, a wave that comes, we are forced to add new features or change existing features to comply with the existing regulations or new regulations that come. And we do it for the customer, because at the end of the day, if I believe that we have a very large customer and we have a very large contract in place, for us, probably the customer becomes most important. And we do adopt and adapt both to ensure that we have the customer under our belt. And obviously, whenever we adopt or adapt also, and we create new features, it's going to be profitable for us in the long run, primarily because the same factors are going to affect other new customers who are our prospects. So we know that it's an investment, and maybe our profitability or the margins are going to come down in the short run, but in the long run, I believe it will be a very, very healthy thing for us to ensure that these new things, new factors are taken into consideration, and our product or solutions are made more robust. That's the way I see it.
Yeah, I think this is a good point, because see, when I also kind of made a query about whether the budget could be a factor or whether the money could be a factor in kind of giving way to those change requirements and having them executed. I think I would like to go to Prashant. Prashant, a lot of these tech changes or the business engagement model changes come with lot of risks also, come with lot of heavy demands, both from the customer as well as from the enterprise side. So do you think these changes do require heavy capital intensive budgets, and if yes, then how the new OEMs who are just coming up in the market, or who are the channel partners who are just setting up their shops, how the collaboration and the relationship or partnership can be built in a matured way with large IT enterprises if these require heavy capital intensive budgets?
See, it's not that every change, such kind of change request may require a heavy capital investment, though, I mean, if the contracts are like that, I mean, the contracts should be built in a manner where they are properly worded at that what kind of an extent, what kind of an additional changes, what kind of things can be accommodated. But having said that, that's all about entrepreneurship. The risks involved in the effort or accepting that change, one should always look at the positive side that the ROIs will definitely be there, will be justified, may not be that great from that same particular customer, but maybe you can leverage that change, that technological advancement with other customers, leverage it in a manner wherein you can take certain advantages from the existing customer who's requested for that particular change, make an arrangement with them that even if it is not a commercial transaction for that particular change, maybe they can help you in creating some sort of a case study, which can be leveraged later on by either of them, so that it is a win-win situation for all of them. This is what I particularly feel. And having said that, the technological transformations, the changes obviously require capital investment. Some may require heavy capital investment, but then if these investments are not there, the business might not just happen. There would be fundings available. There are ways and means by which the funds are made available through the government, through the other organizations who invest heavily into innovative technologies. These things should not be taken as a risk. Otherwise, every business is a risk.
Yeah, that's true. I think that's a good point that you have made, Prashant, that not doing something is a risk in itself. if I try to sum it up. Nazmeen, I would like to go to you and would hear your thoughts that what kind of tech changes or tech transformations you have seen in your organization, and what are your inputs for the emerging enterprises, that how they should adopt or how they should actually run with the changes.
So I come from a cybersecurity and compliance background, basically. So we are into IT audit, IT compliance, network security, ISO audit, and all those areas. Now, if you go audit as such, because we have our own products that we deliver to the customers. Audit and assessments as such, if you go to see, it's a highly technical thought that is required behind it when it comes to delivery of the solution. And on the other hand, it becomes very a repetitive job as well. So the idea is that there are two aspects that we focus when we deliver business to our customers, or when we implement in our organization, that how best we can deliver to our customers. So one aspect is what best tools we can use when it comes to VAPT or application security or network security, Wi-Fi security and all. What is the best tool that's going to help me give the best result so that the customer gets the overall picture of what they are doing? Because security is a primary concern for our enterprises. We have been talking about, every speaker spoke about it. So it's very important to give the right picture to the customer from a 360-degree viewpoint of view. So that's why the right tool is very important. That's one point. Second point is the delivery of the product, how fast I can deliver it to the customer. Now it comes to delivery, I would basically automate my process first. Because once I do automation, I realize that which are the process which are taking time in my delivery and how best I can improve. Once I have those automation in place, the thing is how I can define a workflow better so that my delivery is better. So these are the two primary aspects, I would say, that irrespective of what tool you are using, irrespective of what technology you are using. And as we talk about ChatGPT and AI and ML, if you go to see, these technologies are so simple that you really don't need to have a very high-end technical mind. Even a layman, like I am from a technical background, but I was supposed to, I'm not from a software development background, but I sat with ChatGPT, I had a requirement. And like, it just took me one day to figure out like how to do that workflow. The technology is so easy that any layman or a non-technical person is been able to deliver. So that's the reason it's very important that.
My next question to you is, how do you, because you are in that business of certifying the technology adoption in the organization, so how do you decide that tech stack A is better and suitable for your organization than tech stack B, and we should onboard vendor A than vendor B?
So actually,
what are the various mechanisms or the protocols or the frameworks that help you to decide upon?
So we are at advantage because we have a consulting background. So we had been consulting to the organization since like more than a decade. So when we worked as a consultant, we have a very biased mind, you know. So for a customer, our customer is important and not a vendor or a product. What is going to be best solution for the customer is what I'm going to suggest to him. And as a consultant, the customer is going to follow me. So I have to evaluate all kind of product based on the customer scenario, business requirement, the resources that the customer has, the project that I'm working on, evaluate the products which are available in the market and give the best fit to the customer. So I am not like, product specific to that. It could be anything. And I'm sorry, I missed your second question.
My second question is that how do you decide that vendor A would be the right vendor than vendor B, who will bring the right set of capabilities?
So that's it. As a consultant, we use our expertise to evaluate the vendor. First is, of course, the product, which is going to be suitable. And then when it comes to the evaluating the customer, what are the resources that the customer has, how best he can deliver the technology, does the vendor has the capability to modify the solution based on the customer requirement, or is he going to say no, option A, option B, option C, and this is what I can deliver? So that's very important, that are you flexible enough when you are delivering to the customer? Okay. So these are the primary points that I would say.
Okay. I would like to go back to Rex with the same kind of thought process. So Rex, in a normal scenario of solution designing or solution definition or implementation, so based on your experience, which is more important, price or the volume? When you are kind of implementing large scale technologies in a customer environment or in your own enterprise own organizations, so you decide from the pricing standpoint that this tech is coming at a low price point, so should be the right technology to adopt, or it is touching the larger stakeholder ecosystem and that's why it is more important to kind of implement. So what your experience says?
See, when it comes to identifying the right solution, right, for the enterprise, we go based on the value system. Okay, so what are the areas we should cover? Okay, whether it's a DevOps teams or it's an APM team or an infrastructure team. Okay, and what I'm seeing now is there is a consolidation with the tools. Okay, I'm seeing instead of because whenever there is some kind of an issue occurring from a business standpoint, there are multiple teams involved, and for them to kind of narrow down on a particular problem or a issue takes much longer time. Okay, so nowadays they are trying to consolidate solution which kind of gives the quicker time to resolve. Okay, the mean time to repair, I would say, right? So they're trying to find such solutions. So, and moreover, whatever solutions having, which can give more granularity and more visibility with a lot of dashboards and all. So they're trying to, the price actually plays a role, but when it comes to enterprise, I would say price is not that a factor. Okay, more value and what the solution can actually solve is something, which they're looking for in related to the enterprise. Okay. And the lock-in period is also, they are ready to go with 3 to 5 years. Okay. So budgeting is there. Okay. It's just that we need to provide them with the right solution and solve the right problems.
Okay.
Yep.
Good point. So we just heard some definitions, some viewpoints from the aspect of pricing and volumes. So, sir, I would like to ask you a question that when we talk about scaling up of the tech stack, or taking the technologies to a larger spectrum of audience, now because we have just crossed the COVID, right? And enterprises are framing the rules or the policies that the work environment should be hybrid, right? So the scaling of technology works better in work from home model or coming in office model. So what is your viewpoint on that?
So it's a good question. Okay, now a couple of global leaders. When you talk about Jeff Bezos, we're talking about Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk. They've all started return to office, RTO. Okay, but again, that is I personally feel that it is very team dependent. It's not necessary that all the teams need to be out of office. There's a saying, geography is history. Post-COVID, people have realized that literally geography is history. But again, the mindset that goes along with it is that what people are really bothered about is where is the work getting done, or what is the work getting done. If you look about, when we talk about work, unfortunately not much time goes into planning what is the work rather than where is the work. So I personally feel that your work should be smart, that's specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. And then immaterial wherever that work is from. If the right hierarchy is set up, it does not and would not matter.
But see, now when the tech usage is distributed at multi locations, so doesn't it add to the cost of your bottom line? So how do you define?
No. So if you look at it, I know certain companies, again, which are present here, who started hiring from B and C class cities. And they are able to integrate. So it purely depends on your work definition, as what I said, how to plan your work rather than just have work as that guy needs to come to office or he has to work from office. I think that is a wrong mindset in today's date. But if you look at, since you mentioned cost, if you look at B and C class hiring and people are able to work from home, your cost would automatically reduce. And I know some people here who've actually done that. In fact, you heard Pranav Pandya in the morning, and they've actually done that. So that's really amazing. A couple of other leaders, Shanmugam, from our IT background itself, they're also doing the same. And believe me, they are fairly big companies that are able to integrate this. So I think work from home will stay. Of course, you would need specific teams to be in office. The core teams need to be there. But then it's no longer necessary that everybody has to be there. Thank you.
Good point. Nazmeen, how you have been seeing such scenario in your organization? Is this viewpoint divided among the workforce, or there's a larger kind of promotion towards coming to office or work from home? So what kind of scene you are seeing in your enterprises?
Frankly speaking, you all must be surprised. When COVID started, we actually worked for those 20 days when the trains were not running, and post that our office was operational, because there are a whole lot of crowd which says, sorry, we can't focus and we can't work from home. So we had no choice but to allow them to come to office, because we just could not restrict them. So that's one, lot of people who wanted to come to office because they prefer connect, they could not focus on working from home. Some people did not have infrastructure at home where they could, have that leeway to deliver their job. So for those people, we let them come to office. For the other set of people where, when it comes to audit and those kind of areas, it also depends on the type of work and the business that you are doing. So for certain kind of department, work from home is working very well because they don't need to, they have been given a set job and they have to just follow the steps and perform those areas, so they can be anywhere. But for certain type of thing, you need to have discussion, you need to have because anywhere the physical connects does make a difference. People are tired of Teams call, I would say, but definitely it is a mixed culture where work from home and hybrid both goes end to end.
Okay,
That's
thank
how.
you. Vikram, you have been I would say, you are a person who most of the time remains on the road. You have been a global trotter, I would say. But from the if a person has to make choice, right, between working purely from home and then or from the office, so how do you think the organizations enable that? Okay, or organizations take a stand that in order to kind of save cost, which option would be best for me, and also the technology would be equally leveraged by the workforce.
That's okay. Yeah. So it again depends completely. If you ask me, earlier I used to love the work from home option, but later on I actually got bored, right? So it again completely depends on the organization to the organization. And today, if you ask me which side you would stand, I would say hybrid completely, because it again, like for my particular role, it is very much required that I have to meet a certain people in face-to-face for the further discussion. So because certain things does not go, even whatever is your evolution of the technology, whether it's a AI, ML, or a like quantum computing, etc. So if today I met so many of our like partners over here, and I was able to easily understand their pain points, as well as I was able to understand their ask in a better way compared to the virtual discussion or the discussion over the phone. So in this particular real world, so try to meet people as often as required, and whenever you are busy, take it from the work from home. And if you ask me from the organization perspective, so basically this is how I would put it out. So each and every organization is completely different. So when we talk about the medical sector, it is mandatorily required that they have to work from the organization, similar to the banking sector, similar to the manufacturing sector. So if you like really want to look into a certain organization, it's better to put a certain objective. So what is their criteria for the business objective, and like run the maturity model of their objective. So if the maturity models are on the top of the line, so then they can put the flexible approach for their employees, like how they can adopt the things. Maybe today the development team can come to office, tomorrow the testing team, or if they want a partially, say they can collaborate the team members completely. So if you ask me like how they can define this sort of a thing from the technological perspective, so it's really they have to set a certain margin barriers or the objectives, and how they want to achieve this particular objective, or if they want to put it as a like a statement of the problem, so then they can achieve the objective against that. So once they want to like get into a much more deeper dive into the objective, they can define the maturity model. So for an example, if somebody is completely working from the home and they don't want to touch a certain critical data which is there in the perimeter or the cloud, so basically they might utilize a SSL VPN sort of a connectivity or any other different way of an approach. But once you are completely working from home, so and once he comes out of the SSL VPN and again he is open to the internet, so in that particular presence, endpoint security would be required. So what sort of an endpoint security would be required? So again, they have to run through the maturity model, and which particular endpoint can be easily adoptable. So for an example, there are certain organizations where they don't have an office at all. So in the sense, there are like hardly a 5 or a 10 guys who are sitting out of a different geographical region. So for these guys, how do you secure their platform? Because at the end of the day, whether he's in India or a Singapore or a Australia, yet he's connecting to the data center, which is critical for me. But I cannot ask that guy to travel to Australia, just I can make sure the platform is completely secured. So in this scenario, how easily I can adopt those particular technologies, and how easily the other people can help me to in order to mature in this particular region. So all these aspects comes into the picture. It is not a defined sort of a statement in where, like looking into a point of a single organization. So it completely differ to end. And if you talk about the like an airline organization, it's again completely different. So for them, it is really a mandatory that they have to be in the office, right? So there is no such like a standard statement. So the adoption of the particular strategy again depends, and you have to define what is the objective that you need to achieve. So according to that, you can drive the things. On top of those things, you can start looking to the different technology, and you can talk to the partners or the vendors, and you can see how easily we can adopt. So it's not just I want to buy the technology, but how easily that I can adopt, and how efficiently I can utilize, and how I can correlate this particular like posture of a B sector, I can collaborate with the sector of the A. So all these things matters a lot when you plan to do some sort of engagement over here.
No, definitely good point. I think Vikram, you have I think you have summed up all the discussions which we just talked about. My last question for all of you together, one by one, would be, so let's begin with Prashant. So Prashant, we have just heard that how technology is driving our lives, how we are being made at both personal as well as professional level, as well as enterprise organization level, how our lives are getting transformed with the daily dynamics of technology changes. What will be your message for the small scale enterprises or the big enterprises, that how they can collaborate together and grow together with the way technology is shaping up the lives?
Yeah, very good point. So collaboration, yes, is extremely important. Collaboration amongst within the partner community, collaboration between OEM and partners, collaboration with customers, everything is equally important. And it is all relationship. It's not transactional relationship. It's all business related relationship where transaction merely plays a role. Otherwise, the customer is looking for like some sort of a solution to a particular problem, either to automate or to innovate, and this is what the job where the relationship comes into the picture. Like he can, the partner can bring in the right kind of OEMs, build or stitch a solution to solve the problem. That's what the job of a system integrator or a good partner is, how to stitch the various technologies together and build the solution to be a problem solver, rather than giving a boundary that this is what I can deliver, this is what I can't deliver. Maybe he can collaborate with other partners and that's how the ecosystem runs. So this is how it should be, in my opinion.
Thank you, Prashant. Nazmeen, I would like to hear from you, and the audience as would like to hear from you. What are the top 3 or top 5 areas that you see would help a better collaboration between the channel organizations or the large IT service organizations?
First thing, I would say partnering and using each one's strength. So if I have some capability and if there is a requirement for some other capability, rather than I scratching my head and spending time behind, I would partner with somebody and then build that work with the partner so that I could be able to deliver the right solution to the customer, and the customer is also happy with me. Secondly is technology. See, in a very simple manner, a very simple example if I give, you can't use Windows 7 machine any longer, irrespective of what you do, irrespective of whether you want to use it. Machine is working fine, everything is fine, you can't use, because none of the applications are going to work on that machine. So because everything is changing, it's not just that Windows, but your other applications are also changing. So you have to understand that adopting to the new technology is the future. You just can't, you can't hide about it. So somewhere when you are adopting the technology for your own organization, you have to understand that which technology is going to be best for your organization. And the third part is that you have to even change your business model when you are competing with the trending technologies. If you are not going to change your business model, you are going to be left behind. So these are the 3 points I would say from my end.
Okay, thank you. Rex, what will be your message for the let's say emerging players or the established players, that how they can leverage their synergies to kind of develop or drive joint go-to-market activities, or kind of innovate further, so that the growth happens at both the fronts, and there is a better innovation in terms of IPs, or there is better innovation in terms of new solutions coming up in the market.
Yeah. So the first and foremost would be the expertise, okay, in the technology side. So see, I deal with partners, I deal with the users, the customers as well, as an OEM, okay, OEM vendor. So I see having an expertise would be important, okay. I mean, expertise is the knowledge with the latest technology which is evolving. So having an expertise in that is very important. See, from a vendor perspective, customers comes to buy product from us directly, or they go with the partners. See, I prefer both ways, but partners are having a partner is important, because partners can bring in much more value to the users, okay, not just from a product perspective. But I see a challenge there, right? So partners, they're bypassing and coming to us directly. So this is a challenge which it could face more in the cloud evolution, okay? Because things are right there on the SaaS, people just go and buy it, right? So you need to be upfront, and you need to adapt your organization or your pitch from a cloud perspective as well. So having an expertise and positioning yourself to the cloud market, to your end users, is very important. So I think that should be one of the takeaways for us.
Okay, thank you. Vikram, your thoughts on that?
Yeah. So few things what I would highlight. So first, understanding the product or the technology or the background of the technology is very crucial and critical. Why? Because we do see, because our organization is a partner-driven organization. We do not do any sort of a direct deal with any of the client. So they have to have the partner. So it has been like pushed down from my top management, even from our co-founder itself, right? So in this particular scenario, what I would expect, or what I would recommend to my partner is that slow down, it's okay. You miss the opportunity, that is okay. But do not provide a wrong set of a solution to the client. So better understand the product in a better way. Or if you have a certain challenges in delivering the solution, or if you are not able to articulate or correlate the information, take a help from like a product-based organization or from the OEMs. So you just get a shadow from them, try to understand how they're talking or how they're pitching in or how they're collaborating the problem, what has been exposed by the client, and what is the solution that this particular technology can help them, or a product which can help them. And later on, try to build an expertise on what you're learning from out of that particular product. So for example, today you would have been done a successful job with respect to a particular client, but the other client is completely different from this guy. So basically you have to build a strategy, as well as you have to have a deeper dive sort of understanding of a certain product line. So it is not easy to quickly get into a touch of the client and say, we did this ABCD in a different organization and we can do the same. It does not work like that. So basically the problem statement and the deeper knowledge of the technology and how we have been like approaching the client matters a lot. So from the technology front, they have the help, all that they require from any sort of a product organization, name it any of them, right? But at the end of the day, like the steps and the approaches, what they take and how they're gonna scale up those particular opportunity, what they've been worked, right? So that is really matters. So today they might be a good with respect to a certain small opportunity or like SMB sort of an opportunity, but the same sort of effort will never help them to get the larger enterprise account. So in this particular scenario, what I would recommend them is that day by day, try to go a little bit deeper and deeper. Learn slowly, but make sure that learning takes you into the very fastest stages. Like compared to your engagement with respect to your clients or with respect to your OEMs or the product line, what you are like trying to work with and what are the things that you are offering for their particular clients. So that would be my recommendation.
Okay, thank you. Vikram, Tushar, you have been a veteran in managing this larger partner ecosystem, and you are heading your large scale full stack organization called NetSecure. You have seen a lot of emerging companies flourish under your kitty. You have seen a small enterprise growing to a large scale enterprise. What will be your message for the partner ecosystem, that how they can grow, how they can ride this trend?
Hello. Yeah. So as tech leaders, I would advise the partner community. You know, I mean, just to give a background, I have been the ex-chairman of ASSERT and ISODA, two of the most prominent IT associations in India. And I'm fairly connected to almost like 600 partners across India. You know, and wherein we have, you know, everything is not possible for us to know. So wherein we've gone out, collaborated with those experts, particularly wherein there are certain technologies which we may not be having a knowledge about. But at least if and CIOs now are open to collaboration between partners. So even if you take another partner to a CIO, that this is our product expert, you know, and they have a good knowledge of the product, they are open to two partners collaborating together and we are giving a good solution across to the customer. So I probably would say, what I would say that to tech leaders today is to evolve, upskill, innovate, and on a long term leave a positive and a lasting legacy and a sustainable future. Thank you.
So just again the three words, evolve, innovate, and upscale.
Evolve, upskill, innovate, leave a lasting legacy, a positive lasting legacy, and a sustainable future.
I think this is definitely going to remain in the mind ecosystem for a very, very long time. I would like to go back to Govind and share his closing message, closing comment for the partner ecosystem, that how they can thrive in the changing times.
No, now we have been evolving in the Indian markets for almost like 2 decades. I have personally met hundreds of partners throughout the nation, and like Tushar mentioned, yes, what I would always say is that skill set development is extremely important in today's times. B, training becomes very important. That is number 2, and third, which I see as a factor of success, will be focus. When I speak to I speak to quite a bit of partners. I speak to a lot of customers also, and when I speak to customers, I also end up representing the customer in front of the partners without telling that I am an OEM too, because the customers trust my words and trust my knowledge, trust my judgment. And when this kind of a thing happens, I see partners coming in many a time, and who promise heaven and earth to the customer. They'll say they can do DLP, they can do EDR, they can do XDR, they can do firewall, they can do PIM-PAM, they can do backup, they can do cloud storage, cloud security. Whatever terms you have, like the resumes that I see nowadays, which come from students, they are 5-page resumes. They are freshers, but they will have every technology stack which we work on in that resume. So that kind of stuff happens, and I've seen it happening. So I would suggest, I would strongly feel or suggest also that focus on a specific area of cybersecurity or anything, and is the need of the day, rather than jumping into every a technology solution or a stack that's available in the market which a customer demands, and becoming strong in that one specific focus area. Extremely strong, where no one can beat you or no one can, and when that happens, OEMs will flock to the partners. OEMs will flock to the partners, OEMs will come, and OEMs will knock on the doors and say, hey, I want to work with you. Why? Because you are an expert, and the customers believe that you are an expert. Because we as an OEM, I cannot reach out to everyone. It's common sense that I need partner community with me. But more than me requiring the partner community, I need trained partners, I need experts, where I can sit, explain, and they understand the concepts behind, and they ask the right question, and they can advise the customers and give the customers the right direction. If that doesn't happen, confidence is lost of the customers, of the partners, of the OEM, and I don't know what to do next. And these kind of experiences I have faced in the past. And that is the reason why I strongly believe that focus, training, skill set development is extremely important in today's times, when so many technology stacks are competing, so many solutions are there in the market. Every solution is evolving, and every solution says that they are the best. So focus rahega, so I think those set of partners will become extremely successful, and everyone will knock on their doors. That's
I think
my
that this is wonderful. This is wonderful set of opinions, I would say multilateral directional views from all the eminent panelists, and I believe the audience also has learned a lot, new dimensions, new perspectives, how the channel ecosystem can develop, can thrive in the changing times of technology. On behalf of SME channel, I would like to convey my thanks to the panelists, but I would request the panelists to remain seated, because we still have 2 minutes, and audience also remain seated. Maybe I would like to conclude this panel session with a poem that I would like to dedicate to all of you, and it's a message which I would like to give, and the poem is called The Legend. So it means that how tough the challenges are, right? We all are strong enough, we all are capable enough to ride over the challenges and be a winner in any situation that we have. So that's the poem I would like to dedicate to all of you, and this goes like this. So the title is The Legend, and with this I would say that all of you are legend here. I have now returned you your glorified past, because my heart is roving for a new gleam. Now is the time to return to the nest, for no time to rest but to boil to the steam. Basking in the laurels will soon go past. Time ahead will be a series of what and how. You are the chosen to fruit a new seed. You are the chosen for rigor. It is never or now. Come what may, your standings will seek strength. Lay what way, the jolts will peak with wrath. The energy will wither to a new low. Therein only you have to come to sow. The boundaries will be stretched to no limit. The comfy zones will go invisible, lest you yourself choose to go extinct. The outlook will look serene, the prospect sizable. Those dark nights will witness you roar. Those dark nights will witness you roar. Those tired sides will hold off their pour. Be persistent and immaculately patient. There is only one direction from here, that is soar. Rise of a hero is unwrapping from the ashes. Let the motion be in its slowest form. Let the awakening give a standing ovation. Let this birth take everybody by storm. This period will go down in the history as nothing but a hallmark of your virile. The humanity will adore you and prehend to anoint you as the next savior, the legend. So that's for you. Thank you so much. With this, I thank SME Channels to have given me this opportunity to moderate the panel, and it's a wonderful panelist here. Thank you so much.